Final match in League B's Group C as Cuba face off against Guyana. Good morning from partly sunny, partly cloudy Oranjestad on Aruba's west coast. My name is Alex Heinert, excited to be with you on another day in paradise in the South Caribbean Islands capital city. Group C has been fairly straightforward to this point. Puerto Rico earned 3 wins out of 3 and are in the clubhouse, having already secured their spot in tomorrow's second division semifinals against Group F winners Guatemala. On the other end of the spectrum, the Cayman Islands have been on the losing end of all 3 of their matches this week, meaning the 2 teams on display today, Cuba and Guyana, are still in the hunt for second place. To be honest, it has been a bit of an up and down tournament for both of these sides. Each defeated the Caymans without too much fuss earlier this week, though both were handled convincingly by Puerto Rico, with Guyana surrendering 5 without reply on Tuesday and Cuba falling by a 4-1 scoreline 24 hours ago. Those defeats put them out of the running for top spot in this group, and again in League B, only the group winners advance to the knockout stage. So yes, this match won't have any bearing on who will ultimately lift the trophy on Saturday, but that doesn't mean it's not without consequence. Both the Lions of the Caribbean and the Golden Jaguars will be motivated to pick up one more result to leave Aruba with, and they will have that chance here this morning. Cuba and Guyana starting us off on the final day of the group stage before the playoffs beckon. A good battle between these two on the way in Oranjestad. Hear the winds howling. It's been that case throughout the week. This match being played at Guillermo Trinidad Stadium, one of 2 venues in the Aruban capital who are taking center stage in League B. League A's matches taking place in Costa Rica, League C in Curacao this week. 3 separate venues across Concacaf for these U-15 boys championships. Both of these sides, 1 win, 1 defeat. Even though their prospects of advancing in the tournament were eliminated with those losses earlier this week, doesn't mean they still don't have a lot to play for today. Doesn't mean their tournament is done, by the way. They both will play in a playoff game of sorts tomorrow. They'll redraw for who gets slotted against whom based on their results in the group stage and the rest of League B. A nice way to finish out proceedings in Aruba this year. That's been typically the case for these U-15 championships over the years. Cuba managed by Lazaro Rodriguez. Guyana managed by Levi Brathwaite. Both of these coaches making 5 changes apiece to their starting 11s today for this final match of Group C play. I'll tell you more about who's in the 11s following our national anthems, which will take place shortly. There's Michael Vene with the match ball in the middle of the Canadian center referee. Cuba in the whites today, Guyana in the traditional home greens. And a matchup against a side from South America and one from the Caribbean. They've only met 6 times ever at the senior international level, Cuba winning 3 of those matches and drawing 2. The only Guyana victory in the series at the senior level came 40 years ago in January of 1985, a 1-0 friendly victory in Guyana. The 2 sides have not met at that stage since 2007, but they meet here today at the U-15 level.
The 2025 Concacaf Boys Under 15 Championship.
Here we go as the teams walk out. One more opportunity in this group stage to prove themselves, make some memories, pick up a results, and enter tomorrow's playoff on a high note. Let's listen in now to our national anthems.
Of Cuba.
La Bama Mesa, the green land of Guyana.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Guyana.
As always, excellent to get this match started. All these matches started with the national anthems of both countries. That was a stirring rendition of La Baya Mesa. This might not be quite on the level of the All Blacks haka, but that would put a little fear, I think, into the opposition, hearing the Cuban youngsters belting out their national anthem prior to kickoff. Great stuff here in Oranjestad as we look at the opening 11s for these two sides before kickoff. As I mentioned, for Cuba, Lazaro Rodriguez making 5 changes to the lineup from yesterday's 4-1 defeat at the hands of group winners Puerto Rico. Dario Chavez earns his first start and goal of the tournament, while Ariel Torres and Yendry Pero also find themselves in the 11 for the first time in this competition. Keep an eye on David Estrada. The number 10 had a fantastic free kick goal against the Caymans 2 days ago. Mateo Galina will captain Cuba. Mark Glasgow scored a lovely goal against the Caymans yesterday. Will captain Guyana. We saw Michael Vene earlier, the Canadian center referee, will have the whistle for this contest. Prince Albury of the Bahamas and Lendry Tavares of the Dominican Republic will be the ARs. Amari Majors of Bermuda, our 4th official. The starting 11 for Guyana looks like this. Also 5 alterations for Levi Brathwaite following the 3-1 win over the Caymans 24 hours ago. Matthew Gallardar, will don the gloves for the first time here in Aruba, one of the 5 first-time starters in the lineup for the Golden Jaguars in their Group C final act. Tyler Abrams, Micaiah Daniels, Simon Solomon, and Brandon Parks all slot in off the bench as well. So it is Cuba and Guyana. They will switch ends following the coin toss. Cuba, Los Leones del Caribe, the Lions of the Caribbean, taking on the Golden Jaguars from the northern South American coast. Good matchup between these two sides with 1 win and 1 defeat apiece throughout this tournament. Curious to see how things shake out today as both jostle for position with the playoffs beckoning tomorrow. Another windy day here in Oranjestad. Gusting up to 25 miles an hour, something both of these sides will have to be cognizant of this morning. Goalkeepers especially, Chavez and Gallardar making their debuts in this tournament today, respectively, in goal. And with that, we are underway here in Aruba. Final match in League B, Group C. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching from. It is Cuba in the white, attacking right to left. And they started the tournament well with a 2-1 win over the Caymans on Tuesday. They dropped a 4-1 result yesterday to Puerto Rico, who has gone a perfect 3 for 3 in Group C. Puerto Rico advancing on to the semifinals in League B. This is the third match in 3 days for both of these sides. A lot of football in short succession, hence the number of changes in the opening 11. Both of these coaches doing well to rotate the sides yesterday and today. Early infraction blown against David Estrada for the pullback in midfield. Guyana, meanwhile, coming off a 3-1 win against the Caymans yesterday. They were defeated 5-0 by Puerto Rico back on Tuesday. The Golden Jaguars had to come from behind in that game against the Cayman Islands. They trailed 1-0 early after conceding in the 10th minute. Good aggressive keeping by Galladar right off the jump. Here comes Guyana now in attack. Jocelyn Holly unable to get past that last line of defense and then committing the foul in his attempt to win the ball back. Good slide tackle over there by Estrada. Estrada, one of 4 Cubans to start all 3 matches in this group stage. He, Alex Jorge, Carlos Rojas, and Diego Hernandez earning the nod each time out for Lazaro Rodriguez. This is Cuba now. Adonis Cisnero. And the final touch there, letting him down. That's a warning sign, though. Good early ball from midfield. Carlos Rojas playing in Cisnero. Guyana's back line not quite on the same page. See Simon Solomon asking for the offside flag to come up. It did not. Good pressure here early by Cuba. The high press on nearly results in a turnover. It'll be Micaiah Daniels, though, able to clear the danger. Estrada calmly back to Chavez. Quickly closed down by this Guyana press. For Guyana, this is their 4th straight competition at the U-15 level here in the 2nd Division, League B. They didn't participate in the inaugural edition of the U-15 Championships in 2013, but they have been a fixture since. Jermaine Garrett, who did have a goal as well, part of that 3-goal outburst without response against the Caymans after Guyana had conceded early. Ball thrown back in. This is Myron Barrow, who scored a brilliant free kick in that game. Lofting one forward. Nearly taken down well by Halley. Cleared out, though, by Cuba for our first corner of the match. Good control there by Halley to take that off his thigh. Diego Hernandez, the central defender for Cuba. No-nonsense clearance. An early set-piece opportunity, though, for the Golden Jaguars to get on the board. Estrada being warned about the holding inside the 18 by Michael Vene. It'll be an in-swinger here for the Golden Jaguars. Good service in the mixer, loose in front. Still in play now inside the 18. And eventually Carlos Rojas and company do enough. A couple of nervy moments, though, from Cuba back there in defense. Barrow this time just bundling over Rojas. If it wasn't Garrett, it was going to be Barrow, guilty of the foul. Nyron Barrow and Jermaine Garrett, they have started every match in this competition now. Watch out, another chance here. Cisneros across. Good block in front by Tyler Abrams. Cuba has looked good in transition, going from defense to attack quickly in the opening stages. Now Guyana trying to do the same. Estrada will prevent them from doing so. Dairo Chavez, excuse me, the number 12 in goal. Galladar at the other end. Galina, the captain, now on the ball in midfield for Cuba. Right idea with the early ball for Adonis Cisnero. Not quite on the same page though, the number 6 and the number 17 in white. While Guyana have always been a second division side here at the U-15s, Cuba was in the top flight last time out, and now they have drawn a free kick and a yellow card coming to the Golden Jaguars. A late sliding tackle that time. I believe that was Tyler Abrams. You have confirmation there. The number 5 picking up the early yellow just 6 minutes in. Good bit of dribbling skill by Cuba to win that free kick. Captain Galina interested in this. Guyadar will have to be ready. It's a good position to get something on goal. 4-man wall on the way for Guyana. Mateo Galina. His attempt parried away. Guyadar at full stretch, preventing Cuba from earning the opener. Good curling effort by Galina over the wall. Might not have cleared that near post, but Guyadar wasn't going to take any chances. Good effort that time by the captain, who will now send this corner kick in. Guyadar got a hand to it. Jermaine Garrett, coolly done that time under the face of pressure. Perhaps the break on now. Nope, says David Estrada. An aggressive lunge, able to win it for Cuba. Cisnero playing it back to Estrada. All the way up from defense. Good shielding here by Mark Stewart. And again, and that ball just dies on the vine. It stays in play. You see the flags stiff on the far end of the stadium, the wind blowing from the top of your screen to the bottom. Estrada had to get that ball on the challenge and did so. Cuba still keeping the pressure on, a little tug back here. Michael Vene waving off the protestations of the squad in white and their technical staff. Looked like that was Micaiah Daniels who got a bit of the shirts of the Cuban attacker. Maybe not quite enough contact in that. Vene had a really good look at it. Carlos Rojas went to grounds. Cuba now attacking once more. Another save forced from Matthew Guyadar. The Lions of the Caribbean looking the more likely here in the opening 10 minutes. Guyana's best chance so far coming off that corner kick some 3 minutes ago. Cuba, though, with the majority of the possession and the chances early. Galina. And now a foul coming. He was tripped up. Good advantage played by Vene until the opportunity went away. This is Barrow just sticking the leg in. Another free kick, and you would expect Galina will fancy this again. He's a little closer this time, similar sort of angle. He was on target with his first attempt from a similar situation just a few minutes ago. We'll see what he can conjure here. Mateo Galina in the 10th minute for Cuba, just outside the 18-yard box. The wall does its job this time. Didn't quite get the height required. He was a little bit closer. Tougher to get it up and down from there with the 4-man wall in the way. Thumping clearance by Alex Jorge. Is Rojas back on the ball on that far side. 10 minutes gone in this first half. The final match of Group C, final match day of the League B group stage. Both of these sides on 3 points behind Puerto Rico, who are already through to the semifinals after 3 wins out of 3. Abrams and company doing the defending. Cuba, though, once again in a dangerous position in the attacking third. They are trying to erase the sting of yesterday's 4-1 defeat against Puerto Rico. That was a good effort that time, but unable to keep the ball in play. A second corner right into the arms of Galladar this time. Niall Kendall, who captains Guyana earlier in this tournament, had been the starter in goal each of the last 2 matches. Same story for Claudio Deson and Cuba. Rightly so, both coaches deciding to get everybody involved in this competition. No point in coming all the way to Aruba just to sit on the bench in these U-15 championships. Foul committed there by Cuba, giving Guyana the free kick near midfield, which Barrow will take. Bit of a sore one for Garrett that time. Throw on the way for the Jaguars. Solomon taking it quickly. Can they find a little joy now in the opposition half? Simon Solomon battling with Leodin Alfonso and winning the throw for Guyana. First start of the tournament for Solomon. He'll restart now. On a foul throw, I think, was the issue. One foul throw deserves another. We'll give it right back to Guyana. Looks like Barrow will attempt to get this one deep. The long throw coming. Lofted high into the 18. Here is Barrow. Something to catch for Chavez. No saves yet to make for Dario Chavez in his debut with these U-15 championships. Guyana trying to change that now on this foray forward. And the shot fanned on that time. Good defending by Cuba. The early ball from Stewart. Chavez read it well. Garrett was not far away. He does have a goal in this tournament. It was an intelligent run by the number 11, running between the lines of that Cuban back line. A little too much pace on the ball, though. Here come Guyana once again. Garrett unable to get that under his spell down the right flank. Golden Jaguars growing into this half a bit. Cuba certainly on the front foot in the opening 10 minutes. Better of late for Guyana. One people, one nation, one destiny, the national motto of this South American nation, one of 3 South American countries who participate in Concacaf, along with French Guyana and Suriname. Foul here on the play. A foul throw again. It's our 3rd foul throw in the opening 15 minutes. Now Cuba, of course, in the northern Caribbean Sea. Guyana on the north coast of South America, but a bit further to the east than where Aruba is located. It's about the same distance to get to Aruba from both Havana and Georgetown, the capitals of these 2 respective countries. About 1,000 miles away from Havana, 900 from the Guyanan capital. Get a great opportunity for all of these athletes to experience something different, travel to a different country. You see Levi Brathwaite there in charge of this Guyana Guyanan youth team. He's been an assistant at a number of different levels in the U20s, the U17s for both boys and girls, taking charge of this U15 side here in this competition. Good early ball forward, and now the flag does go up. Guyana had come a long ways off his line to challenge Mateo Galina. That would have been interesting to see who would have blinked first. Galina, the captain, just a bit quick on his run. Guyana very much in no man's land, and now at the other end, Garrett's putting some pressure on. The square ball cleared wide. An important intervention at the end by Diego Hernandez. Quick counterattack by Guyana, nearly coming to fruition. Garrett had Mark Glasgow running inside the 6. It sets up a corner now for the Golden Jaguars. Nyron Barrow, the left-footed defender, set to serve this. They attack the back post, lob back in. Chance not gone yet. Barrow got back on side. Good service. Not cleared convincingly. Here's Glasgow back on it. Guyana trying to recycle. Good defending by Hernandez. It'll be a Guyana throw, but the thrust of the danger passing. They look dangerous on these set pieces, Guyana. A couple of corner kicks resulting in some scrambles at the back. Halley now down that byline. It comes back to Daniels. Still not clear yet. Glasgow. A chance at the top of the 18 will go just over the bar. Not a bad opportunity from Mark Stewart. You heard the technical staff yelling, shoot, why not? Decent contact on that. Just not quite the accuracy he was looking for. We have perhaps reached our first cooling break of the day. Get a warm day in Oranjestad, 83 degrees. Windy conditions really sapping the energy of these players. And even though it's early in this contest, this is the third match in 3 days for these young men. Good chance to hydrate and get instruction from the technical area. Pretty even match so far between these two sides, with 1 win and 1 defeat on their CV in this competition. Cuba with the better of the chances in the opening stages. Guyana fighting their way back into this game with a couple of good looks of late. And the winner of this match will claim second place in Group C. Because of goal difference, again, a draw would suit Cuba. They would take second. -2 on goal difference, Ghana on -3. Both sides have scored 3 goals in this tournament. Ghana allowing 1 more, that coming in the 5-0 loss to Puerto Rico. Cuba only surrendering 4 to Puerto Rico. Back underway here in Oranjestad, Aruba. Still scoreless between Cuba and Guyana. Another early ball forward. Adonis Cisnero down this left wing, getting the better of Solomon, getting the cross away. Martin, and actually that was Yendry Pero coming up. Bit of a wild effort that time. A turnover now in the opposition half. Ariel Torres on the deck, cleared away by Barrow. Cuba's turn now to continue the attack. Cisnero, lovely scoop pass, finding Martin. This one rolls out just in front of the Cuban attacker. It'll be a goal kick for Matthew Gayadar. Jaden Tasher there, the number 8 in green, doing just enough to slow down Martin legally. Osvani Martin with a headed goal against Puerto Rico yesterday to tie things up at 1. Cuba conceded early in that match. They fought their way back. Martin's goal coming in the 23rd minute. Oh, here is Glasgow now with pace. Mark Glasgow, there is the opener! Second goal in as many games for the captain, and it's 1-0 Guyana. Fantastic pace from the number 10 in green. Good composure as well. Just past the outstretched reach of Dario Chavez. Glasgow scored yesterday against the Caymans. It was the opener in that match as well. In the 28th minute, he scores in the 22nd here today to get Guyana off on the right foot. Second goal of the tournament for Glasgow. Again, that last name very familiar to Guyanan football fans. Amari Glasgow, who was formerly with Chicago and MLS in their youth setup, part of Chicago Fire 2 for a long time. He's become now a senior staple, despite being a little more than a teenager. It's Mark Glasgow today, putting the Golden Jaguars on the board first. See Lazaro Martinez, you hear the Cuban head coach imploring his side now. Let's respond. Out of that cooling break, it looked like they might be the team who would strike first. And they perhaps might have a chance to equalize here on this set piece. Garrett with the trip this time on Martin. Adonis Cisnero being told by Michael Vene to reset this as Guyana can set their wall. Now we saw earlier in this match Mateo Galina on the right side with the chances. They'll go short here. The shot by Estrada blocked. Pero makes one man miss and now another. Cisnero on the touchline. Dealt with by Barrow and convincingly cleared. Cuba trying to respond after conceding just 2 minutes ago. Hernandez. Still Hernandez now back to Alfonso. Barrow's clearance finds the head of a Cuban attacker. Laid off for Martin. Barrow again standing in the way. The imposing Nyron Barrow doing the defending. Glasgow, coolly done. Now Guyana can break. 3 in the attack for the Golden Jaguars, but that pass will slow things down a bit. Parks forcing Halley out wide. Jaden Tasher in midfield. It'll be a Cuban throw on this far side. Guyana 1-0. The early goal scored by Mark Glasgow some 3 minutes ago in transition. Great pace from the Golden Jaguars captain. This is Daniels now. Punts it back forward and again. Ball kept in play. The early cross. Danger here for Cuba. Guyana back in the attack. Good patience by Garrett. The cross headed clear. Jesslyn Halley double teams. And now Galina can take over. Hernandez. Cisnero on the run. Cross to a dangerous area. No one in white attacking it though. Not a great clearance, however. Hernandez closed down, Cisnero keeping it alive. Galena unable to ghost past the first man. Nyron Barrow once again standing tall at the back. Here come Guyana once more. Brandon Parks doing well initially to fend off the challenge. Cuba able to win it back. And after the Lions of the Caribbean had much of the ball and the chances early, it has been all Guyana since, as Glasgow is in again. Good keeping by Chavez to come quickly off his line. Alex Jorge was there in defense just to keep the Guyanan captain away from that through ball. Glasgow had eyes for a second. "27 minutes gone here at the Guillermo Trinidad Stadium in Oranjestad, Aruba. Guyana with the 1-0 advantage thanks to Mark Glasgow some 5 minutes ago. A cool finish on a quick counterattack, the difference between these two sides. Cuba have threatened. A couple of good set-piece efforts for Mateo Galena. Adonis Cisnero has looked dangerous as well. Osvani Martin has been in the box a couple of times. But so far, Guyana have handled everything Cuba have thrown their way. Levi Brathwaite will be pleased with what he's seen so far. Guyana weathering the early storm and then taking control over these last 15 minutes. Cuba so far with no answer. And Guyana, the team coming in off victory just yesterday. They'll be feeling good after that 3-1 win over the Caymans. Cuba coming off a 4-1 defeat to Puerto Rico, trying to regain their footing. We mentioned Guyana has been a League B team throughout their stay at the U-15 championships. Again, the last 4 editions all in this division. Cuba were in League A last time out. They had to play about as difficult a group as you can get, facing off against the U.S., who eventually won the competition, Haiti, who finished in 3rd place. Tough shot from a tight angle. Halley testing the keeper. Good save by Chavez. The rebound ballooning over the bar. Every attack has looked dangerous of late for the Golden Jaguars. Jocelyn Halley driving to the byline, getting past Estrada. Dario Chavez couldn't do much on the goal from Glasgow earlier in this half. Good keeping that time to maintain this 1-0 deficit, keeping his side one shot away from tying things up. Another ball won by Guyana. Solomon waits for the cross, now finds Glasgow. Brandon Parks. Stewart. Garrett's ball to Stewart once again. Good turn. Patience from Brandon Parks. All the way back now as Guyana will recycle and reset. Five minutes plus stoppages to go in this 35-minute first half. And these U-15 championships play a pair of 35-minute halves. Certainly time for 1 or 2 more before the interval. Good early ball from Stewart. Won't find its mark though. Chavez there to clean up just in front of Jocelyn Halley. Nice move in midfields. Cuba trying to come forward. Solomon doing the defensive duties this time. Barrow there to clean up, as he has done early and often in this competition. The central defender will cancer forward. Barrow, the long left-footed switch, finds Halley. His shot from some 25 yards out was not deflected on the way. Well, 3 substitutions now coming before halftime for Cuba. Lazaro Rodriguez not wasting time to change things up. Leandro Sanchez, Giuseppe Martinez. Eric Grodestan all coming on. Actually, there was Leandro Reve taking Adonis Cisneros' place. Leodin Alfonso also coming off. Interesting there that Rodriguez did not wait until halftime to make those changes. I think he has seen enough in this opening half hour. Certainly the last 20 minutes, it has been one-way traffic. Guyana with wave after wave of opportunity. They've made one of those counterattacks end up on the scoreboard. 3 changes here before halftime for Cuba as they try and shake things up a bit. Chavez, the long punt forward. Will go out to touch for a throw for the Golden Jaguars. There's a good look at Leodane Reve. Started each of the last 2 matches for Cuba. On as a sub here after a half hour. I think he knows, cannot concede another, and the way things were going, it looked like they might, Cuba. Another long ball forward. Parks was challenging for it. Tasher. Broken up. Long ball for this new look Cuban front line to chase. I think that was Leandro Sanchez now. He's in a battle over there. Galena trying to help him out. The captain, Galena, will keep this in. Nice move. Galena. Barrow was there. Reve was the intended target. Glasgow trying to break. Jorge not allowing him to do so. Long shot from distance that will sail just wide of the post. I think the sub's already beginning to provide a little spark for the Lions of the Caribbean. '35th minute here in Aruba, 1-0, Guyana on top. The goal from that man, Mark Glasgow, the difference. He plays in Garrett. He does keep this in just in front of the byline. Glasgow. As you see, 2 minutes of added time on the way in this first half. Well done by Mark Glasgow to earn the 3rd corner kick of this first half for the Golden Jaguars. Their previous 2 caused some problems for this Cuban defense. Nyron Barrow stepping up from defense to send this in-swinger in with his left foot. Good opportunity here at the end of the first half to add another for the team in green from South America. I think Michael Vene wanting a word here. I think Brandon Parks and Ariel Torres is getting a little too friendly with each other inside the 6. Barrow's service, bouncing in front, and it's in! Guyana off the corner. Jermaine Garrett, the coolest head in the box with the ball bouncing around inside the 6. Off the hands, off the back, and in. Second goal of the tournament for Garrow, just between the legs of Chavez. And it comes in first half stoppage time. Jermaine Garrett doubling Guyana's advantage just before the interval. And it's a real sucker punch for Cuba. Lazaro Rodriguez made the changes. Levi Brathwaite's side, though, able to take advantage of the set-piece routine. And there is the halftime whistle. After 35 minutes, the Golden Jaguars of Guyana roaring here today in Aruba, trying to close out Group C on a high note. That man's goal just seconds ago, giving Guyana a comfortable 2-0 advantage here at the half. Mark Glasgow got the scoring started in the 22nd. Jermaine Garrett adding to the tally just before the stroke of halftime. Our score after the opening half here at Guillermo Trinidad Stadium, it's Guyana 2, Cuba 0. First half highlights on the way in a moment. match on the first goal from Glasgow. So a change in goal, and then we also saw Dario Ramos come on. He started the match against Puerto Rico. So Cuba having made all 5 changes after 35 minutes here as they try and find their way back in this contest. We saw some good things from the Lions in the opening 35 minutes. Can they get things started off on the right foot? That is one of those substitutes, Eric Grodesen, who captained the side in both previous matches. The number 9 out there leading the line now. Chance from the top of the box blocked this time. It was Carlos Rojas with the opportunity. I would expect Cuba to come out strong here to start this second half. They will want to push on, get a goal back. They'll be disappointed about how the opening 35 ended. They were bright in the opening 10 minutes before Guyana slowly took the game over. Offside flag up against the Strata. Give Guyana credit, they were really stout at the back early. Again, Barrow and company holding down the fort when Cuba had some early chances. And they took advantage of their opportunities as the half wore on. Rojas now. Shot from distance by Carlos Rojas will loop over the crossbar. Matthew Guyadar making sure that one sailed over the net. Rojas, who does have a goal in this tournament, scored against the Cayman Islands back on Tuesday. He had the opener for Cuba in this competition before Estrada added a second, the game winner later on in that match. Go to stand fouled here just outside the 18-yard box. That was Barrow, maybe 6 of one, half a dozen of the other that time. Both players hanging on to the other's shirt. It's a worrying side here for Guyana. One of their players needs attention early in this second half. Just to reset, these are the players on the pitch for Cuba. They've got to go for this here in the second half, and they will have a chance with this free kick just outside the 18-yard box. Simon Solomon, the man shaken up as we see the 11 on the field for Guyana on the bottom of your screen. No changes made yet for Levi Brathwaite, no need to. They've looked fantastic in this contest. They have a set piece to deal with though. It will curl off the hands and loose in front. And it is now in. Matthew Guyadar got it poked away at the last minute. Cuba get one back early in the second half. Dario Ramos, with help, able to get the final touch. Guyadar, perhaps the first mistake he's made, and able to catch that cleanly. And that was Grodesen. Eric Grodesen, who would captain the side each of the last 2 matches for Cuba, able to punch that in. And now a change will be made for Guyana. Ferez Noble looks like he's going to take the place of Simon Solomon on the pitch right after Guyana concede. So an early goal for Cuba in this second half. Eric Grodesen, who came on in the 33rd minute, part of 3 changes made by Lazaro Rodriguez late in that first half, able to net off the set piece. And now 2-1 our score. So the equation changes just a bit. Cuba have now scored in each match in this group stage. Their 4th goal of the competition. First for Grodesen. And they're looking for more here. Leodani Reve that time a little loose touch at the edge of the box. Estrada trying to pick up the pieces, ball sent back in. Matthew Guyadar able to hang on this time. As we have mentioned, this is Guyadar's first appearance of these championships. He played well in the opening 35. The first test, though, sent his way in the second 35. He does not pass. And the ball was attacked by Dario Ramos and Eric Grodestan off the free kick from just outside the box. He didn't deal with it well. Cuba make him pay. We'll see what that does to the complexion of this contest. 3 points on the line. Lazaro Rodriguez making those changes at the end of the first half and at halftime. Shuffling the pack a bit with 5 new players inserted, and those changes have paid dividends. How do Guyana respond now, conceding for the first time in this match? If you're curious, these two sides right next to each other in the Concacaf rankings. Cuba 17th, Guyana 18th in the region. We use the U-17 rankings to determine who's playing in what division here at the U-15 championships. Get on paper, these two picked to finish second and third in this group behind Puerto Rico. And that is how things have played out. Cayman Islands in the mid-20s in the rankings. Their place at the bottom of Group C already established. Guyana now still with this 1-goal advantage, trying to get forward. Jesslyn Halley in the corner. Lovely move to get past the first man. Couldn't quite beat the seconds. Good dogged defending by this Cuban back line. Mateo Galina. Good ball forward, but the flag will go up. There's that move deep in the corner from Halley. Third consecutive start for Jesslyn Halley. No goals yet for the number 9 in green. He's been active, though, in this match, as he has been throughout the tournament. Cuba trailed 2-0 at the halftime break. They've gotten one back early in this second half. Eric Grodestan off a set piece, able to snatch one home. It's cliche, but obviously the next goal is so massive in this contest. Oh, and now a high arm from the substitute, Ferez Noble, up into the face of Leodani Reve. Noble will see yellow. Second yellow card issued to a Guyanan player in this contest. Tyler Abrams also with the yellow early for a late challenge. But the free kick chance for the Lions of the Caribbean. So bounce in the box, taken down by Carlos Rojas. Cross comes in. Guyadar there to claim. Micaiah Daniels, his pass intercepted. Estrada getting in the way. Rojas again. Cuba threatening here. Not a great clearance, it'll fall for Grodestan. Clipped in, Barrow was there, not clear yet though. Estrada trying to weave through traffic. The shot poked just wide from Grodestan this time. Nice footwork from David Estrada. come Cuba once more. And the bouncing ball in the box. Galina's effort, though, just over the crossbar. Couldn't quite get the half volley down. Great skill again by Reve. Getting past this Guyana defense. It's always going to be tough that time. A bouncing ball off the foot of Daniels that Mateo Galina couldn't quite get down. Chance now for Guyana to try and get forward and restore the 2-goal edge. Jermaine Garrett, who has the second goal of this match, playing to Glasgow, who had the first. Mark Glasgow, the captain, sees that run out of play for a goal kick. He's a live wire up top, number 10. Daryl Ramos, who is slotted into defense for Cuba, played a part in that goal that they scored just after the halftime whistle. Here is Daniels. Quickly won back by Cuba. It'll be a throw, though, for Guyana. You see Estrada, 1 goal in this tournament. He started every match so far for Lazaro Rodriguez. He'll have a part to play before all is said and done. If Cuba can make a comeback and complete this turnaround. Rojas's ball. Now Galina, the captain, out wide. Reve trying to create something out of nothing. Galladar tested from distance by Leodani Reve. Really impressive footwork here by the substitute. Again, Reve had started each of the last 2 matches as well for Cuba. He came on just before halftime trying to make an impact. Daniels now whistled for the infraction, taking down Rojas. Physicality shown by Micaiah Daniels. Back-to-back fouls by number 12. No card, though, shown by Michael Vene, the Canadian referee. Good positioning by Rojas, getting in front of the Guyanan defender and the ball. Getting between those two things. This will be another set piece from a very similar area where Cuba scored their goal. Galina standing over this, the left-footed captain. 3 in the wall. Mateo Galina's cross. Cleared off the 6. Follow-up chance. Pushed wide by Diego Hernandez. Galina cannot keep it in. Cuba, though, posing a threat. The opening 14 minutes of the second half has been very one-sided in favor of the team in white. Good set piece routine that time, setting up Estrada at the top of the box. Can Guyana catch Cuba now on the break? Jocelyn Halley. Lazaro Rodriguez had a good view down the touchline, saw that ball had gone out. The whole of the ball across the whole of the line. Cuba trying to keep the pressure on. Rojas in a foot race with Daniels. Daniels able to play that off of Rojas. It'll be a throw for Guyana. Both players who have featured prominently throughout this tournament for each side. A little slow getting back on their feet. And they've played 50 minutes here today, their 3rd match in 3 days. Cuba back on the ball now and in an attacking position. Rojas go to stand. Heavy challenge. Illegal one in the end. We play on here. And Cuba pushing numbers forward. They need the goal, of course, to earn a result in this match. They know they'll finish 2nd or 3rd. First place out of the question. Here is Rojas. A swerving shot that time from distance that Galladar had to get behind. Carlos Rojas cutting back on his left. Pretty good effort from 30 yards out. And still Cuba come once more, chasing the equalizer. Cuba again just over the bar from Grodistan. The Cuban goal scorer trying to add a second. Good combination play. The two substitutes, Reve and Grodistan, who led the line for the first two matches of this tournament for Cuba. Nearly combining once more as Micaiah Daniels has gone down. He was involved in that collision with Rojas just a couple of minutes ago. Levi Brathwaite has only gone to his bench once in this contest. Still 4 more subs to make for the Golden Jaguars. Might he be forced into one now as one of his defenders, Micaiah Garrett, has been a little bit slowed. Daryl Ramos and company trying to mount a comeback. This was the goal that has gotten them back within one. Ramos kicking it off of the goalkeeper, Galladar. His fellow substitute, Grodistan there. Galladar claiming he was interfered with. Cooling break now as we've hit the 53rd minute. A little over 18 minutes to go in this second half, in this group stage, in Group C. Guyana and Cuba battling for second spot behind Puerto Rico. Just the top team advancing officially to the semifinals. Both of these sides will play tomorrow in a playoff contest against another team from the second division, which will be determined after the dust settles on today's proceedings. A couple of more matches here in League B still to be decided. There's the first goal of the game. Again, Mark Glasgow showing off the pace, the patience, and the touch, beating Alex Jorge and then Dario Chavez. Second goal of the tournament for the captain. This goal, a decisive one right now. It stands as the game winner. The second goal of the week for Jermaine Garrett. Big scramble inside the 6. The Guyanan, number 11, was able to finish. Now 2 changes on the way. Daniels will be substituted as Travis Grogan will come on. Ashton Phillips also coming into the contest. He'll replace one of those goal scorers, Garrett coming off. Three changes made now for Brathwaite, all in this second half. Grogan, the defender by trade, replacing the injured Daniels. Travis Grogan had started each of the previous 2 matches for the Golden Jaguars. He might have some defending to do right from the off as Cuba back in the attack. Guyana happy to watch this roll out. Tyler Abrams seeing that one all the way past the byline. The attacking changes made by Lazaro Rodriguez have paid dividends. Cuba, a much more dangerous side in this second half. Here they come again. Rojas, watch out on this left foot, took a deflection and goes just wide. And Rojas always eager to cut back on his favored left foot. We've seen it a couple of times in this match. This one had eyes for goal, if not for the back of Nyron Barrow. Another corner opportunity for Cuba, their 3rd of this match. They've been dangerous on set pieces today. Ball comes in, headed up by Barrow inside the 6. Galena unable to sneak past Grogan this time. Actually, that was number 17, Ashton Phillips, doing the defending. Jesslyn Halley ushering the ball out beyond the halfway line. Glasgow, not a bad idea. Not quite on the same page, though, with Parks on this occasion. 15 minutes left, plus stoppages. 2-1, Guyana with this 1-goal advantage over Cuba. The Lions of the Caribbean have gotten one back in this second half. Can they get another? We shall overcome. That is the national motto of Cuba. Will it be the case today? Estrada digging in. Bodied here by Grogan. Now Rojas taking over, skipping past two. Estrada again on the deck, dangerous. The shot, though, always going wide by Yendry Pero. Good attack once again by the team in whites. Estrada this close from connecting with Grotestan. Pero's opportunity goes begging in the ends. Grotestan once more, picking up the pieces at the top of the 18. Nobody home, though, on that particular pass. Cuba pushing for the equalizer. Back to live action here in Aranya Stad. 2-1 our score. Guyana led 2-0 at the break. Goals from Mark Glasgow and Jermaine Garrett, giving the Golden Jaguars the advantage. Eric Grotestan, though, off a set piece in the second half, having the deficits for the Lions of the Caribbean. Cuba have been in the ascendancy in this half. They have got 10 minutes left to rectify the situation and pull level, or perhaps get a second goal and pull in front. They have looked the more likely. Guyana have done a lot of defending since the halftime interval. Lazaro Rodriguez has made 5 changes, all coming at or right before halftime, and they have paid dividends. Grotestan, the second half substitute, able to score off the free kick routine after a scramble in front. Guyana doing their best to hold down the fort and maintain this advantage. Both of these teams on 3 points in Group C, fighting for positioning before the playoffs tomorrow. Puerto Rico have already won the group. Cayman Islands have finished 4th. Those two teams done with their group stage yesterday. These two, the last one standing. It is a League B tussle, and it's getting feisty out here. Barrow, Grotestan battling. largest island nation in the Caribbean, Cuba, against one of the smallest in South America, although Guyana actually larger in total area than the country they're playing today. Not so in population, though. Cuba with 10 million people, second most, or third most, excuse me, behind Haiti and the Dominican in the Caribbean. Guyana just under 1 million. They've got some defending to do. Look at this. Some sweeper-keeper action from Matthew Guyadar, preventing the chance. Ashton Phillips trying to lead the break the other way. Guyana would love to earn another and restore that 2-goal lead. It'll be a yellow for David Estrada on the pullback. He sensed the danger. That's taking one for the team, as Brandon Parks had a couple of green jerseys in front of him. An easy yellow to be issued by Michael Vene, the first Cuban player to go into the book. Claudio Deson, the new goalkeeper for Cuba, came in at the half. He started each of the last 2 matches. He's not been tested yet. Nyron Barrow's ball is on goal. Deson forced into a save. Now Barrow does have a goal in this tournament from a free kick. It was quite a bit closer. See Cuba protesting that Guyadar was outside the 18 when he touched that ball. We play on, though. Cuba still with time to level things. Guyana, though, on the break now. Heavy first touch from Glasgow, forcing him wide. Mark Glasgow off the return from Parks. Good save by Deson. The shot from Ashton Phillips stung the palms of the number 1 in pink. Good individual effort by Glasgow to keep the play alive. Parks, a second half substitute, got that one on target. First save of the match for Claudio Deson. Fourth corner now of the match for the Golden Jaguars. Barrow has been so good on these set-piece opportunities throughout this tournament. Headed down by Estrada. Rojas, though, will not get there in front of Glasgow. Then he fouls the number 10. And Rojas, a little kick that time to put Glasgow off balance. Another sub on the way. Giuseppe Martinez now will come on for Cuba. Andrew Perro will be replaced. That's 6 changes now for Lazaro Rodriguez. Free kick chance for Guyana, sent goalwards. Little miscommunication there at the back. It's still loose. Jaden Tasher. Barrow. Always Dason's ball this time. Good confident keeping. 6 minutes to go in normal time. Cuba pushing for the equalizer. Rojas. Barrow in the way, as was Travis Grogan. Not quite clear yet. Diego Hernandez in a battle that's won by Glasgow. Mark Stewart carrying forward. Ashton Phillips on this far side. Alex Jorge doing the defending. Phillips back on it. Parks can't wriggle free. That was Martinez, his first act since coming on. And it will be a goal kick. Time beginning to run short for Cuba, but still only takes some moments. They have trailed since the 22nd minutes. Guyana with the better of the play in the opening half. It's been all Cuba really in the second half, although Guyana have flipped that script a bit over the last 5 minutes. step by Grogan. He'll play it off of Rojas. Will be a Cuba throw now instead. Hernandez getting it started quickly. Barrow has been so good in this match and throughout this tournament. Won it back, but then got an arm up high and caught Estrada. Nyron Barrow, you see here, just a little extension that time up in the face of the number 10 in white. Early ball from Barrow. Can't get past Ramos. Estrada out wide to Diego Hernandez. Grodestan, the Cuban goal scorer today. Tried to square it across. He gets it back. Loose in the box. How did that not go in from the far side? Leodane Reve expected the back of the net to bulge. Really dangerous move by Cuba. Lovely flick from Galena. And it just clears the far post. Galladar made himself big, cut down the angle on Reve, and he was not able to equalize. It looked all for the world like this was going to be 2-2. Sigh of relief from the team in green. Grodestan now. Deflected to Rojas. Carlos Rojas in front. Mateo Galena bundled over. Justin Halley trying to lead the break. Good step once again by Ramos. His ball forward though, not on targets. Goal kick on the way. Cuba threatening, trying to find a way to equalize late in this second half. Good step there by Jaden Tasher. Lazaro Rodriguez trying to rally the troops. You got to think they'll create at least one more chance before the final whistle. Can they take advantage of it though? They had a golden opportunity to equalize just moments ago against these Golden Jaguars. Oh, and now a little altercation as Glasgow will be shown a straight red. He put Estrada on the deck. A clash of number 10s here in the 69th minute. We didn't get a good look there. It was the follow through that time, not the initial foul. He'll hand the captain's armband over to Jaden Tasher. Tough way to finish this tournament for Mark Glasgow, who scored in the first half for the second match in a row to get Guyana off on the right foot, but now they'll be down a man, down their captain, down their most dangerous attacker for the final minute of regular time and stoppages. Well, now Estrada guilty of the foul. Estrada, who was on a yellow, he was the one who took the shot to the chops a moment ago from Glasgow to draw the red card. 70th minutes here in Guillermo Trinidad Stadium in Oranjestad, Aruba. Just one goal between these two sides. Cuba pushing to find parity. Guyana seeking to see this out. There will be 3 minutes of added time, as you see. Plenty of chances on the way. Can Cuba craft one? Giuseppe Martinez out wide. Alex Jorge. Reve, who had the golden moments not too long ago. Can't get the cross in. Good defending here by Guyana. Dayson sending it forward once again. Cuba trying to create one more opportunity for themselves. Ramos up from defense, turning away from trouble out wide to Diego Hernandez. Rojas. Barrow was there. Stewart can't get it clear. Hernandez once more. Galladar always behind that. Matthew Guidar's had to make a couple of saves in this match. He's been steady in his first appearance in this tournament. His team trying to hang on to these 3 points, to this 2-1 victory. Can they get across the line? This will be a Cuba throw, much to the displeasure of Levi Brathwaite. 1 minute of the 3 gone. Another throw for Cuba, a little bit deeper in the attacking third. Martinez, early ball forward toward Galena, who will not get there. Roughly 90 seconds to go in this one. Second place in Group C on the line. Guyana and Cuba. It's been a good battle here today in Oranjestad. Final match of this group, one of the final matches in the group stage of League B. Playoffs looming tomorrow. It's all about positioning for the postseason for these two. Both on 3 points. Guyana creeping closer to a second win. Can they see this out? Here come Cuba now. Oh, that was an important step by Barrow. There were 4 in the attack in white. Giuseppe Martinez. Cuba with a little bit of space here. Rojas playing it back. Hernandez. Oh, not far off. Diego Hernandez splicing that one just a bit wide. And you see Levi Brathwaite directing his squad. Everybody back. The countdown's certainly on for that man. He knows they're close. They've played the 3 minutes of stoppages, and there is the final whistle. Guyana victorious here today in Group C. 2-1 the final score. They'll collect the 3 points over Cuba. It was a great comeback effort from the Lions of the Caribbean in this second half. Eric Grodestan got one back after Guyana had scored twice in the opening 35 minutes. They had a couple of chances late to equalize. In the end, though, the Golden Jaguars of South America do enough. They will claim second place in Group C. 2 victories out of 3 for the squad in green. They had to sweat a little bit down the stretch. Mark Glasgow sent off in the final 2 minutes of regular time. Cuba, though, unable to get that last opportunity they were seeking. The Adane Reve with the best chance about 5 minutes before the full-time whistle. His shot, though, went wide. They didn't really threaten after that. Guyana able to get across the line to take second place in this group on 6 points. Cuba will finish third. Full-time highlights from this one coming up in a moment. A good match today here in Group C, the curtain closer in this group between Cuba and Guyana. The team in white versus the team in green, both on 3 points entering today after 1 win and 1 defeat in their opening 2 matches. The opening 10 minutes I felt went to Cuba. And the Lions in white pressing for the opening goal. A couple of good chances, offset pieces, mainly supplied by that man, Mateo Gallina, the captain. Matthew Guyadar in his first action in this tournament forced into a couple of saves. It was scoreless until the 22nd minute when Mark Glasgow was able to ghost past the Cuban defense and fire past Dario Chavez. Second goal of the tournament for the captain. 1-0 to Guyana. At that point, they would have chances to add to that before the first half was over. Chavez forced into a couple of saves. Some good defending by the Cuban backline. Jocelyn Halley was good on this left flank for Guyana today. Good opportunity here that Chavez was able to parry aside. In first half stoppage time, the Golden Jaguars would make it 2. Jermaine Garrett off the scramble inside the 6, able to nutmeg Chavez. Second goal of the tournament for Garrett as well. Lazaro Rodriguez made 5 changes to his side, 3 right before the first half ended, 2 at the halftime interval. And those changes would play a part. Just 4 minutes into the second half, Eric Grodestan able to poke one home just underneath Matthew Guyadar off a set piece. 2-1 at that point. Things got a little chippy in the second half. 3 cards issued to players in green from Michael Vene, a couple to Cuban squad members as well. Mateo Gallina, a couple of decent opportunities inside the box. Carlos Rojas was good all game. So potent with that left foot. And Guyana with a lot of important defending inside the 18-yard box. Yendi Pero with the chance there. Another card here against Estrada for the pullback. Cuba, though, really pushed. Again, they had some great opportunities. Guyana as well. This perhaps their best chance of the second half, falling to Ashton Phillips. Claudio Dason, who came on in goal in the second half with a good save there. This might have been the moment that Cuba would look back on and say, if only we could have gotten that one home. Their best chance of the second half after scoring fell to Leodani Reve. The shot just wide. 2 minutes to go before the full-time whistle sounded. Mark Glasgow was sent off. Cuba, though, could not craft another chance with the man advantage, and they would fall 2-1 today. Guyana claiming the 3 points. They finished with 6 in Group C and claim runner-up spots. Both sides will play tomorrow in a playoff competition against another team from League B. Good action here today from Aranya Stade. It will continue with League Group E action coming up next. Trinidad and Tobago taking on Barbados in the final group game in League B. Stick with us for that action coming up in about 20 minutes time. Once again, the final in this opener today, the final match in Group C. It is Guyana 2, Cuba 1. Congrats to the Golden Jaguars on the victory today. And stick around, more action to come here at the Concacaf U-15 Boys Championships in just a bit from Aruba. Stay tuned. League B's group stage at the 2025 Concacaf Boys U-15 Championships concludes with one final match in Group E as group leaders Trinidad and Tobago take on Barbados. Great to have you with us once again from the Aruban capital of Oranjestad in the Southern Caribbean. My name is Alex Heinert, coming to you ahead of the last match in League B prior to tomorrow's knockout round. Warm and windy conditions, as they have been throughout this tournament, are expected today in Oranjestad, with temps in the high 80s and wind gusts around 20 miles an hour. Now for these two sides, this competition could not have gone more differently to this point. Trinidad and Tobago have already qualified for the semifinals as Group E winners. They have claimed a pair of 2-0 victories and will play the top team in Group D, Jamaica, tomorrow. Meanwhile, Barbados started off the week so well, going up 2-0 on Bermuda in their opener, only to fall 3-2 on a goal in the 14th minute of stoppage time. The Bajan Tritons couldn't recover from that late concession in the follow-up match yesterday, losing 3-0 to an Antigua and Barbuda side. They will hope to bounce back today against their Caribbean rivals. It is Trinidad and Tobago against Barbados. One side already through to the semis, the other just trying to get a result before they have their playoff match tomorrow against another team from League B, which will be yet to be determined. Another opportunity for these two sides to try and make something happen. For Trinidad and Tobago, this is an opportunity to keep another clean sheet, to keep building momentum. They've yet to concede so far in this tournament. For Barbados, as we mentioned, a chance just to bounce back. They were so disappointed to not get the result on match day one. They've given up 6 goals now over the 2 matches, 3 in each competition. They are doing their best to try and close out this group stage well, and they have a stiff opponent to face today in a Trinidad side who had their sights set on claiming a League B championship. This Trinidad and Tobago side already have made history. They have never reached the knockout stage in the previous 3 editions of the U-15 championships that they've competed in. Now in each of those 3 competitions, they were in the top division, in Division 1 or League A. The format has changed slightly, so it's not like Trinidad and Tobago have been relegated. There are just fewer teams in the top division this year than there were in previous editions. Playing against quote-unquote lesser opposition, though, outside of the US and Mexico and Panama, and some of the top teams in that top flight have suited them, as they have looked comfortable so far in this group. They have made several changes, as you would expect it, to a match that doesn't really matter to them. 7 in total. Barbados have made 6 as well. Mark Nunez rotating the side, as has Denzel Theobald. As you would expect, we'll tell you about those changes and greet the rest of the starting 11s after we hear the national anthems in just a moment. See the partly cloudy skies here at Guillermo Trinidad Stadium in Oranjestad, one of 2 sites in the capital city of Aruba, hosting matches here in League B. And there are the teams making their way out. Trinidad and Tobago in the black and gold today. Barbados in the yellow and the blue. Great scenes for these opening ceremonies as we get set to listen in to the national anthems, forged from the love of liberty for Trinidad and Tobago, and in plenty and in time of need for Barbados. Great anthems, great scenes here at Guillermo Trinidad Stadium ahead of this encounter in Group E. Two Caribbean nations getting set to face off. Trinidad and Tobago already through to the semifinals. Perfect thus far, trying to preserve that unbeaten record. 2 wins out of 2 for the Soca Warriors. Barbados trying to get off the mark. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for Denzel Theobald. We mentioned 7 changes from their 2-0 win yesterday against Bermuda. It is a first start of the tournament for Kyan Anderson. Everybody else has started at least 1 match. Good rotation for TNT through 2 games. Christian Telfer, who started against Antigua and Barbuda, will get the start in goal again today. Keep an eye on Jeremiah Nansen, who's got a goal in this tournament, as does Aiden Jones. Adassa Richardson, who scored twice for TNT, will start on the bench. There you see Barbados, captained today by Rosario Roach. On the left, that's Matthew Lee Young, captaining TNT. Pablo Camacho of Costa Rica will have the referee's whistle today. One of 3 Costa Rican officials involved. Brandon Cyrus from Guyana will be the first assistant referee. Jeriel Valverde the second. Jonathan Layton from Costa Rica will be the 4th official this morning. Six changes for Barbados' starting 11 for Mark Nunez. Shaquan King makes his 3rd consecutive start in goal. He's had a good tournament, saving a penalty just yesterday against Antigua and Barbuda. Adam King, Tyreek Collymore, and Javier Marshall have started every match for Barbados in this competition. They get the nod again today. 2nd straight match that Rosario Roach has captained the side. 3 players making their first start: Israel Watson, Ty Gittins, and D'Amico Jordan. Keep an eye on the number 10, Ricardo. Just needs the one name to identify himself. He had a great goal to get things started for Barbados earlier in this competition, scoring the 2nd against Bermuda back on Tuesday. It is Barbados attacking left to right in the yellow. Trinidad and Tobago already through to the semis, going right to left in the black, and we're underway here from Aruba's capital of Oranjestad. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching from today. This game might not mean much in the standings. Barbados knows they're going to finish last. Trinidad and Tobago know they will finish first, but it's all about the vibes going into the playoffs tomorrow. Trinidad playing in the semis. That's already locked in against Jamaica. Barbados trying to gain some momentum before their final match of the tournament tomorrow against an opponent to be determined from League B. This is a rematch from a couple of years back in the U-15s, back in 2019. That tournament played at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. That was a 1-1 draw, the 2nd match of the group stage. TNT would finish 3rd that year, Barbados, finishing 4th. That group featured Portugal, the eventual champions, and Costa Rica. Both Portugal and Slovenia, along with Israel, invited to participate from UEFA that year. Concacaf with a long history of inviting other nations from different federations to take part in these U-15 championships. Saudi Arabia getting that particular honor this year. It was Qatar 2 years ago. Those nations competing in League A. This, of course, League B, the 2nd division, comprised of 16 teams this year, 9 in the top flight this time around. Those League A matches taking place in Costa Rica, League B here in Aruba, League C in Curacao. It is TNC on the attack, Jeremiah Nansen. Keves Quintero trying to wriggle free. Here is Nansen again. Scored against Bermuda just yesterday. Good defending by Barbados. Back to the center line. Aiden Montano, the only player in the starting 11 for Denzel Theobald today who has started all 3 matches now. This ball forward picked off by a man in yellow. Here is Ricardo. Trying to play in Sasha Pounder on this right flank. Good defending by Jalen Roberts. It'll be a throw for Barbados. The Bajan Tritons. They've been a yo-yo club between Division I and Division II in their time at the U-15 level. Here is Denzel Theobalds taking charge of proceedings today on the touchline for Trinidad and Tobago. His side has played well in this tournament. 6 points of a possible 6 so far, yet to concede. Trying to keep that momentum going today against this Barbados side who has yet to earn a result. I'm sure there's a balance, and you see that in the changes again. 7 from the game they played yesterday. 3 matches in 3 days for both of these sides, 1 more to come tomorrow. Obviously want to go into the knockouts, into the playoffs, playing well, playing in rhythm. But you also want to have fresh legs for the matches that really matter. In Jamaica, just like Trinidad and Tobago, perfect so far in their group, 3 wins out of 3. So they will pose a stiff test. It is TNT on the attack. Good defending in the end from Adam King. 3rd consecutive start for the central defender for Barbados. Good ball there from Nansen, nearly playing in Quintero. Soka Warriors on the attack again. That shot from O'Shea Watson will go out for our first corner of the match. Seth Goodrich across to send this in. The in-swinger on the way. Only finds the side netting on this occasion. You hear the winds howling today. Those consistent trade winds blowing in off this west coast of Aruba. And Aruba located just north of the Venezuelan coast, only about 18 miles north. Trinidad and Tobago. Well, there's a good chance there for TNT. Good save. Shaquan King getting down to make the stop. He's a big goalkeeper. Forced to react quickly. First real opportunity of this match for the Soka Warriors. Long ball forward, chested down outside the 18. Here's Nansen. 2 Barbados defenders right there. Ball sent out for Trinidad and Tobago, throw by Sasha Pounder. Pounder, one of 6 players in the 11 for Barbados who play for Kickstart Rush FC. The cross off the restart over the head of everyone. Good idea by Jalen Roberts, just not quite the right execution. Turnover in midfield. Sent forward now by Trinidad and Tobago, sent right back by Barbados. These 2 island nations are part of the British Commonwealth of Nations, each gaining their independence from Great Britain in the 1960s. Trinidad and Tobago, of course, they're much more successful when it comes to senior competitions, and they're on the attack now. TNT making the World Cup in 2006 in Germany, getting a result against Sweden in that particular World Cup. Bowing out in the group stage, again, a difficult group with Paraguay and England. David Beckham's England, if you recall. Here comes Barbados now on the run. Ricardo, good crossover. The opportunity from the top of the box just goes over the bar. D'Amico Jordan had the chance. He's making his first start of the competition today. With a really good ball by Ricardo to take that down and send it towards a teammate. Jordan leaning back just a touch. He did not miss by much. It would have been a dream start for Barbados. They started well against Bermuda. We mentioned they were leading 2-0 in the first half of that match. Malik Peters and Ricardo scoring in the 4th and the 27th minute. Bermuda's comeback started just before halftime in that match. Barbados conceding in first half stoppage time. They'd give up a second in the 64th minute. And then that late game winner, 14 minutes into extra time from Carter Thomas of Bermuda to give them the dramatic victory. Fantastic scenes on this pitch when they scored that goal. The entire Bermuda team firing onto the field, celebrating with Thomas, one of the youngest players on that Bermuda side, swallowed up by the entire roster on the running track. The reason there was so much stoppage time, a Bermuda player had been injured right at the end of regulation and required attention for a chest injury. It was a heartbreaker, of course, for Barbados. They struggled to recover from that. They only trailed 1-0 to Antigua and Barbuda on Wednesday at the half. Shaquan King forced to save a penalty in the second half to keep it 1-0, but Antigua and Barbuda would add a couple more after the halftime interval to put the game out of reach. Barbados looking for their first points here today against the Trinidad side that has been comfortable in their contest so far. They've led both of their matches 1-0 at the half. They added a second after the interval. They've been on the front foot here, although Barbados has had the best chance of this match so far. But it is Trinidad and Tobago getting the opener off the set-piece routine. A second ball knocked in. Anthony James finding the header past Shaquan King. They make this corner count. Look at this, the no-look header from Anthony James. Good physicality in there by the number 15. Second start of the competition for the young man who plays for Soccer Vision Academy. So TNC in the 11th minute get on the board first, just as they've done throughout this competition. First goal of these championships for James. Love the celebration again. These young men are 14 years old. You love to see them having fun here on this particular stage. Trinidad and Tobago with some good early possession in this match. 1 or 2 chances in the opening 10 minutes. Barbados the best chance until that goal was scored. D'Amico Jordan nearly opening the scoring for the Bajan Tritons, but on the other end, off the corner kick, Anthony James able to find a way. It's been that kind of a tournament for Barbados. They have plenty of time, though, to fight their way back in this one against a Trinidad and Tobago side that are already through to the semifinals. Soca Warriors in attack once again. Jeremiah Nansen getting into the box, but foul committed here against Ty Gittens. Just a little bit too much there as Gittens was trying to hold him off. He got his arm wrapped around the number 15 in yellow. You mentioned TNC, their senior men's national team, one of the best in the Caribbean over the years, 10 times Caribbean Cup champions, 7 times runners-up of that now defunct competition. That's where the majority of the matches between these two sides at the senior level take place, or have taken place over the years. Trinidad the heavy advantage in terms of victories. They've only lost twice to Barbados in 30 meetings all time. The last Barbados win at the senior level over the Soca Warriors was in 1997. The last time these two faced off, TNT won 9-0, the joint largest defeat in Barbados history. That was just a couple of years ago. The first ever international match for Barbados took place against this Trinidad side back in 1929. Barbados actually won that match 3-0. Their senior men's national team have never qualified for a major international tournament. They did earn promotion, though, from Division C to Division B. This last year they went 4-0 in qualifying. Composed goalkeeping from Shaquan King. Saw Denzel Theobald a moment ago in the red, pacing the touchline. Well, good pressure here as this goal kick taken by Jaden Downs. Took a deflection, and actually that was Christian Telfer, excuse me, taking the goal kick. Nearly a disaster there for Trinidad and Tobago. Good pressure from Barbados. They try and keep it up as Pounder slides in. And look at this was Jordan who had the chance earlier in the match for Barbados, seeing that one skim off his forehead. And Telfer, his second start of the tournament. Levi Williams started in goal for Trinidad in their last match against Bermuda. Kevin Quintero trying to get the attack started off to Aiden Jones, who has a goal in this competition. On the far side, O'Shea Watson. It'll be a Barbados throw. The clouds now being pushed aside here in Oranje Stad. The sun coming out in full force. Unlike in Costa Rica, where League A is taking place, League B here in Aruba, this country's in the middle of their dry season. It's mostly an arid Caribbean nation, just a brief rainy season, October through December here. It's a small country, Aruba, 15 times smaller than Rhode Island's, located just north of Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago, of course, also just north of the Venezuelan coast. They're only about 6 nautical miles off the coast of Venezuela, but they're much further to the east than Aruba is, who is on the northwest coast of the South American country, as Ricardo comes forward. Cross blocked by Anthony James, the goal scorer for Trinidad. It'll be a corner, though, for Barbados.
Okay, men, Adam, can we do something different, please? Marshall, can we do something different? Good, wait.
Barbados taking it short here.
Good, again, maybe find him. Good.
Pounder resetting.
Good.
Marshall back to Sasha Pounder.
Use him, Sash.
Well, Pounder went down, but Pablo Camacho had a good view of that. We play on. Quintero trying to hold it up. Ty Gittens nearly able to win it back for Barbados. better though from the Bajan Tridents. Barbados, the easternmost island in the Caribbean, just to finish this particular geography lesson. Just a bit north of Trinidad and Tobago, these two neighbors in this part of the world. TNT 155 nautical miles southwest of Barbados. The nations in Concacaf in this competition both still had a bit of a distance, but each closer to Aruba than most others taking part of League B. It is Trinidad and Tobago with the advantage. Anthony James off the corner kick, the goal in the 11th minute, the difference between these two sides. Ball headed forward by Jalen Roberts. Barbados back in possession. Javier Marshall making his third start of the competition. Trying to play in D'Amico Jordan. Good defending in the end. I believe that was Kyan Anderson coming across. It'll be a goal kick for Christian Telfer. Seth Goodridge there, making the run. I do love RFX Mike's picking up the conversation between Mark Nunez and the number 11, Sasha Pounder, instructing his winger to get a little bit narrower, get closer to connect with the rest of the attack. 19 minutes gone. Time for a cooling break. Again, temperatures in the high 80s today in Aruba. And that breeze helping to cool the players off, but it also saps their energy when it's blowing constantly out there. Here is the goal taking place in the 11th minute. And that second ball in. The no-look header from Anthony James. Good placement inside the 6-yard box. Nothing Shaquan King could do about it. Fifth goal of the competition for Trinidad and Tobago. They've scored 2 in every match so far. There is Mark Nunez in the glasses, just trying to sort some things out. A good opportunity just to reset for Barbados. Remember, they came close to opening the scoring. D'Amico Jordan with a good look inside the box. There's Denzel Theobald on the other touchline. He will, of course, be the happier of the two managers based on the opening 20 minutes of play. Some good signs, though, from Mark Nunez's side. They've had some decent chances. They've looked good on counterattacks throughout. Pablo Camacho getting set to restart proceedings midway through this first half. Again, 2 35-minute halves at the U-15 level. Past the midway point of half number 1 on the final match of the group stage in League B. Group E action here from Aranya Stad and Guillermo Trinidad Stadium. The group leaders and group winners, Trinidad and Tobago, with the 1-0 advantage. Again, they cannot be caught. The other two teams in this group, Bermuda and Antigua and Barbuda, have played their final matches. Both of those squads on 4 points. Foul here in midfield. Aiden Jones taken down. A battle of 17s. Javier Marshall just leaving a leg in. Kyan Anderson standing over this one. Punched away by King. Not sure if that was going to sneak in inside that far post, but it was awfully close. Shaquan King had to be sure. Good power from Kyan Anderson, who plays club ball for Ball Blasters Youth Academy in Trinidad. Coach Theobald coming back to his technical box. Again, the long running track around Guillermo Trinidad Stadium, providing a little barrier between the coaching staff and the players, between the fans as well. Good atmosphere here. You don't always get big crowds, of course, at these youth competitions, especially when they're taking place so far away from the home nations. I believe King maybe got a little shaken up there on that punch. He came out and fisted that cross, and that right wrist that made contact with the ball from Anderson might need to be rewrapped here. Shaquan King was not listed as the original starter on the lineup for Barbados. Jaden Downs was poised to make his first start of the competition. There was a late change, though, forced by Mark Nunez to put King back in the lineup for his third consecutive start and goal. This would be a worry if King is injured. We've been told that Downs is not even on the bench right now for Barbados, so it would appear that King is the only man with the gloves available for this Barbados side. Looks like he's going to strap it back on and continue. Third corner of the match now for Trinidad, and it's dealt with well by Shaquan King. Soka Warriors right back in attack. The early shot tipped away by King. That was Quintero. TNC turning defense into attack quickly after the King restart. Look at Quintero winning that ball past Tariq Collimore and getting the shot away. Kevez Quintero, who plays for Mocha Lions, this close to doubling Trinidad and Tobago's advantage. And Mark Nunez's team is close to conceding a second. They'll have a corner to deal with. Jalen Roberts with that left foot set to serve it in. This went over the head of everybody. It was attacked that time by Aiden Montano. The turnover, Trinidad and Tobago, the opportunity, pushed just wide off the post. Jeremiah Nansen took a tumble in the box. We play on. Barbados trying to get this ball clear. Now eventually, Collimore able to get it near midfield. The squad in black, though, keeping the pressure on, up a goal and looking for more. O'Shea Watson sees that ball poked away by Ty Gittins. It will be a Trinidad and Tobago throw. A little bump in the back that time by Ricardo on Jalen Roberts. James, the goal scorer, the central defender, trying to jumpstart the attack to the captain, Matthew Lee Young. Roberts skipping away from Pounder. Young, dispossessed in midfield. Advantage being played now. Barbados on the attack. Sasha Pounder out wide. Yellow shirts to aim for. Good defending there. Samuel Balfour getting in the way of the shot. It was Ricardo looking for his second of the tournaments. Little toe poke here by Pounder. Trying to play it back to Ricardo. Balfour having none of it. Does bring a corner Barbados' way, their second of this first half. Christian Telfer has not had to make a save yet. Might he be tested now, though? It will be Pounder to send this in. An in-swinger on the way with the wind blowing in Pounder's face. High cross hanging up in the breeze. Nearly taken down that time. A lot of black jerseys in the way. It'll be another corner. Anywhere will do for Kyan Anderson. Barbados pressing for the equalizer with back-to-back set pieces. Those 50-50 balls inside the 6. So dangerous for a team to defend. D'Amico Jordan this time, who nearly scored in the opening 10 minutes. Sends it into the 6-yard box, dealt with there.
Sasha, come on! Now can you deliver? Now can you deliver?
Gittins.
Second ball!
Right to the head,
Second ball!
one of the TNT defenders.
Ref!
Barbados still pressing, now the clearance comes, although a foul before that ball was sent away. Rosario Roach, wearing the captain's armband today, pulled back by Aiden Jones.
Sasha!
Christian Telfer setting up the wall. Pounder a long ways out. He will go low. Telfer saw it all the way. Not a bad idea from Sasha Pounder. First official save of the match for the Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper.
Okay, step up, step up, step up. Good, step up. Tight. Step up, good, step up. But look behind you, what you got behind you.
Barbados with a good spell here. The last 5 minutes have been in their favor. Can they make it count? Not on this particular attack. I think that was Seth Goodrich who got bundled over. He was looking for the foul. Half hour gone now at Guillermo Trinidad Stadium here in Aranya Stade, Aruba. Trinidad and Tobago already winners of Group E with a 1-0 advantage. Anthony James's goal, the no-look backwards header off the corner in the 11th minute, the difference between these two sides. Ty Gittins. Ball taken away by O'Shea Watson. Nice feet there by the number 14 in black. Finding Balfour. The square ball not quite on, and Barbados might have the opportunity to break now. This is Ricardo. Furthest forward. Well, lost his footing just at the vital time. Trinidad can clear their lines.
Step on him, cover him. Stay with him, stay with him. Stay with him, good. Now play. Adam.
Oh, good strength. It's Adam King single-handedly winning the ball here for the Bajan Tridents. Sasha Pounder chasing this one, ultimately a lost cause in the end. King, though, did well to win that ball, then maintain possession, then almost create the chance.
Come on. You gotta give it. Sasha, what's the matter? Sasha, drop in. Sasha, be aware.
This is King, who captained the side against Bermuda in their opening match, showcasing his talents. I saw a moment ago Sasha Pounder trying to stretch out that right leg. You hear the Barbados technical staff just asking if their number 11 is good to continue. As we have said, this is the third match in 3 days for both of these sides. Even though each coach has rotated a lot, it's still a lot of miles on these young legs. O'Shea Watson now. Trinidad and Tobago right back in the attacking third. Cross dealt with by Marshall. Cleared back to midfield. Barbados unable to break though. Kyan Anderson making sure of that. 3 minutes plus stoppages before halftime here in this Group E encounter. Trinidad and Tobago already guaranteed of progress to tomorrow's semifinals. Jamaica awaits them. The Reggae Boys with a day off today. Again, part of League B played Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The other half playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Little advantage there for Jamaica to have the extra rest day before the semis. Here is Ricardo now playing in a teammate. Big save by Telfer. Seth Goodridge this close to making it 1-1. Lovely feed again from Ricardo, avoiding the challenge. Good run, good timing from Goodridge. A better save though from Telfer, getting down quickly to deny Barbados the equalizer. Corner on the way, the fourth of this first half. It is scrambled into the side netting off of a Soka Warriors defender. Another corner coming. D'Amico Jordan playing short. He'll get the return. Jordan, not cleared yet. Aiden Jones unable to do so. Ball still in the mixer. Barbados retrieve outside the box. Good aggressive defending by Anderson. Danger not quite gone yet. Jeremiah Nansen trying. One of the Barbados players took a hand to the face. Now the play will be blown dead. It appears Kevez Quintero will be whistled for the foul. He and Tariq Collymore had collided. Final seconds of this first half. One more chance for Barbados to restore parity just before the interval. Just the 1 minute of stoppages on the way. Ball popped up by Anthony James. Can TNC counter? That's a nice ball. Headed off though importantly by this Barbados backline. I believe that was Collymore getting in the way. The tall, elegant central defender for the Bajan Tritons. Pounder's ball forward. Good keeping by Telfer. Both sides with decent opportunities in transition late in this first half. Good ball from midfield, finding Goodridge. Telfer alert to the danger though. Final seconds of this first half now, ticking down. One more chance forward for Barbados. This is Ricardo, the square ball. Oh, everything but the finish that time. Two yellow jerseys attacking that cross. Jordan was there, Goodridge was there. Neither could get a toe on it. And we go to halftime with Trinidad and Tobago clinging to a 1-0 advantage. D'Amico Jordan this close with the open goal gaping. He was unable to make contact though, and Barbados will go into the half still trailing by 1 to the Group E leaders. Anthony James's goal in the 11th minute, the difference between these two sides. Good opening 35 minutes of action here from Aruba. 35 more to come after the halftime break. We will be back in a moment with highlights from the opening 35 minutes from Guerrero Trinidad Stadium. Right after this, our score at the half. It is Trinidad and Tobago 1 and Barbados 0. final match of the League B group stage at these 2025 Concacaf U-15 Boys Championships, featuring Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados. Even though there was nothing technically riding on this one, both of these sides very eager to earn a result here in this final match before tomorrow's postseason. Both sides with good chances in the opening 10 minutes. Trinidad and Tobago right off the jump, testing Shaquan King, who was a late addition to the starting lineup. Trinidad and Tobago rank 15th in the Concacaf U-17 rankings, Barbados 20th. Flag does go up here, offside as Jeremiah Nansen is straight off. Again, those rankings, by the way, how these nations are configured in this championship. The top 9 in this case, actually the top 8, because Saudi Arabia has come in as a guest. Featured in League A, the next 16 forming League B, the next 15 in League C. 39 nations competing here at these championships. Here come Barbados now. Israel Watson getting forward really for the first time today. He's been pushed back in defense for much of this contest. Able to win a throw in the opposition half. Pass intercepted by Jones. Barbados still looking for their first result in this competition. Not points thus far. A -4 goal difference. They've looked lively though in this match. Here is Sasha Pounder now down this right flank. He was a positive for Barbados in the first half. A couple of good crosses in from number 11 in yellow. Tamiko Jordan knocking over Aiden Jones on this occasion. The whistle there from Pablo Camacho, our Costa Rican referee. Yeah, Jordan with 2 really good looks in that first half. Could not convert either though. Barbados remaining off the scoreboard. You'd imagine if he gets a 3rd bite at the apple, he might not miss. And TNT would be aware of the threat he poses. Same story with Ricardo, the number 10, awfully good in that first half. It is the Soca Warriors now in attack though. Quintero taken down, and this will be a penalty. Kevez Quintero tripped up inside the box. Good through ball from O'Shea Watson. The step by Adam King, who played really well in that first half, sending the attacker for TNT to the deck. And now Shaquan King, excuse me, called into action again. He has saved a penalty in this competition. Big moment in this match. Quintero, who won the penalty, will take it. Kevez Quintero, coolly done. 2-0, Trinidad and Tobago. Quintero in the 40th minute, slotting home to the keeper's right. And King always thinking it was going to his left. Quintero not quite in the corner, but enough pace and placement to get the better of Shaquan King.
Heads up, Barbados.
Kevez Quintero winning the penalty and scoring his first of these U20 championships. And the Mocha Lions attacker did not err that time from the spot. Cool, composed finish from the number 9 in black. Tough break for Barbados, who have come close to equalizing in this match, but now find themselves down 2-0. So for the 3rd match running, the Soca Warriors with 2 goals to the good and none allowed. It's a good recipe for success. And they will now have a free kick. Looks like that is Nansen who got knocked over. Nothing malicious in that. Tariq Collymore, a big central defender back there, just bumping in. Might have been just a whistle actually to check and see if Natton had a head injury instead of a foul on the Trinidadian attacker. O'Shea Watson now whistled for the infraction. So Mark Nunez and company with a little taller mountain to climb. See how they respond now to conceding for a second time early in this half. Here's Matthew Lee Young. Early ball kneed away by Ty Gittens. Not out though. Good skill there by Nansen to keep the ball alive. Jeremiah Nansen, the initial save by King. The rebound though knocked home. 3-0 Trinidad and Tobago. The second for Quintero in quick succession. A lot of credit here goes to Jeremiah Nansen, keeping this ball going, keeping the attack alive. His initial shot stinging the palms of King. Quintero quick to attack it. And it goes from bad to worse for Barbados here today. Second goal in 2 minutes for Quintero. The first from the spot, the second on the rebounds. Third match running that Barbados have conceded 3. Another turnover now. Watch out, Samuel Balfour. O'Shea Watson back across the Balfour. Ball still there. Oh, the ball played to the top of the 18, couldn't be controlled, and now Barbados can finally escape the pressure and perhaps attack at the other end. Goodridge knocked over a bit by Anderson. Barbados asking for the foul. They won't get one. Will be a throw, though, for the Bajan Tridents. At the other end, Samuel Balfour perhaps needing attention here. Knee-to-knee contact that time between him and Javier Marshall. The cause for the concern. Good to see Balfour now back on his feet. I think it was against the odds that that ball stayed out. A lot of black jerseys in the area. The opportunity nearly fell to Balfour, then a teammate. Barbados doing just enough to keep it out. Tough opening 10 minutes up this second half for Barbados. Long shot from distance this time, goes over the bar. That was Ricardo trying to test Telfer, but unable to do so. Christian Telfer didn't have a quiet first half, a couple of saves to make, certainly late in that first half for the Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper. Be interesting to see if it'll be Telfer or Levi Williams, who's a part of the Inter Miami setup. Which one will get the nod in goal for tomorrow's match against Jamaica? Big decision for Denzel Theobald. Here is Young out wide to Anderson. TNT composed in possession here. They're in no rush now with this 3-goal advantage. Looks like another 3 points will be heading their way as they will cruise into the semis comfortably. Nice idea that time. A good touch from Watson. The run, though, not quite being made at the right time. It'll be offside against Trinidad and Tobago. Midfield battle off the foot of one of the Soca Warriors. Or will it be? No, off of Barbados in the end. Actually, a foul here whistled. Kyan Anderson on the restart. Young. Oh, Gittins let it bounce. That could be trouble. Nansen sees that ball cleared away now. No nonsense from Barbados. Anthony James off a corner in the 11th minute, then back-to-back goals from Kevez Quintero here in the second half, giving Trinidad and Tobago this 3-0 advantage. Still 23 minutes to play plus stoppages in this second half. The Soca Warriors moving closer to another victory. Still time though for Barbados to get something out of this match, a goal or two perhaps, to give them a little life heading into tomorrow's playoff match. At this point, this match playing out almost exactly like Barbados' last match against Antigua and Barbuda. They trailed 1-0 at the half. They conceded twice in the second half as the game got away from them just a bit. Same story here today. Well, that's not good. Israel Watson signaling that his afternoon may be done. Neither side has made a sub to this point. It will be a throw for Trinidad and Tobago, excuse me, as they are deep in the Barbados end. Kyan Anderson skipping away from trouble, but only for a moment. Rosario Roach plays it off of a Soca Warrior player for a Barbados throw. Now it looks like we will have our first sub of this contest. Or will we? Looks like Watson is going to try and play on. Initially it looked like they were going to give him the opportunity to be subbed off. Now it's O'Shea Watson. Almost an impressive turn by Aiden Jones to elude two Barbados defenders. The yellow backline doing enough in the end. And now that change will be made. Amari Small being readied on the touchline. Although it will not be for Watson, it'll be for Sasha Pounder, who was ailing a bit at the end of that first half. And now Watson's number does come up as well, as Xavier Thorne will check in. So Thorne and Small, who each started the first two matches in this competition for Mark Nunez, now will come on here at the 15-minute mark. Watson and Pounder replaced. Watson in midfield, Pounder on the wing. Looks like that Small will take up his spot on the left wing. With the bells ringing out around Oranjestad, it is the top of the hour here in Aruba. If you're curious, Aruba is on Eastern time, so high noon for the inhabitants of this island nation just north of Venezuela. Good combination defending as Adam King comes across to win the ball for Barbados. Here is Ricardo. Good defending once again by TNT not to jinx this, but they are yet to concede. They are perfect so far when it comes to their defensive record. 2 consecutive clean sheets, none goals allowed so far in this match. 20 minutes to change that, though, for the side in yellow. They'd love to get one. Barbados shut out in their last match. They scored 2 in the first half in their opener. Been a long time since they've seen the ball in the back of the nets. Perhaps on this attack now. Ball played out wide. Crossed over, good header by the defense. That was Amari Small, one of the substitutes, getting in on the act. Now Nansen, as Trinidad and Tobago look to break. Early ball from Roberts. King coming out, played forward. That was Quintero, who's on a hat trick. It'll be a goal kick in the end. Good pressing here from Kevez Quintero, still hungry. 4 changes, as you see, being readied now for Denzel Theobald. Kevez Quintero will not get a chance to earn his hat trick. Adasa Richardson, who scored a goal in each match in this competition, will take his spots. Anthony James, also the other goal scorer for Trinidad today, will be replaced. Jeremiah Nansen coming off. Saw Aiden Montano as well making his way off the pitch. It'll be Sebastian James, Jaimarley John, Reagan Rowe, and Adasa Richardson coming in. Aiden Montano, Jeremiah Nansen, Kevez Quintero, and Anthony James being replaced. So wholesale changes here with about 20 minutes to go in this contest for Trinidad and Tobago. All 4 of the players entering the fray for Denzel Theobald had started each of the 2 previous matches. Jaimarley John had captained the side, both against Antigua and Barbuda and against Bermuda. Richardson with a goal in each match. So it's not exactly a weakened squad that has now taken the field for Trinidad and Tobago. Again, a lot of firepower on the bench to call upon, and Denzel Theobald doing so here with a little over a quarter of an hour remaining in this one. And now we get the whistle, I believe, for our second half cooling break. These 2 goals in the second half have really set the tone. Barbados has seen the wind go out of their sails a bit. The penalty converted and won by Kevez Quintero back in the 40th minute really changed the complexion of this game. Barbados was pushing hard for the equalizer at the end of the first half. They just have not had many attacks in the second half. Trinidad and Tobago able to keep them at arm's length. Here are the goals again. James with the little flick off the set piece routine. Quintero winning the penalty off the shove from Adam King and then converting it. That was in the 40th minute, then 2 minutes later. This was really good work by Jeremiah Nansen. Able to sneak past the advances of Ty Gittins. Little 1-2 combination with Samuel Balfour. His initial shot was saved, but it was Quintero there to clean up the mess and make it 3. Mark Nunez staying upbeat. And this team knows, hey, there's a game tomorrow as well to play. Yes, we've not had the tournament we wanted, but every match and every half you get to play in, every time you get to take the field in a competition like this, or in any competition for that matter, it's an opportunity. Got to take the most of it. And none of these players are guaranteed that they'll put on the jersey of their national teams again. Want to make the most of the chances that you're offered, as D'Amico Jordan now will be replaced. Javante Ward getting his opportunity, speaking of. Ward Ward started the first match of the competition for Barbados against Bermuda 2 days ago. You'd imagine he will lead the line here as he slides forward. Three 0 our score. Trinidad and Tobago already through to the semifinals. Barbados putting some pressure on. Little contact there in the 6-yard box, waved off by Pablo Camacho. Foul on the play. One of the substitutes, that's Adasa Richardson. He got pulled back this time, yes. Tariq Collimore. Reach and a grab and then a smack in the face. Collimore quick to apologize. A free kick on the way for Trinidad and Tobago with a little over 13 minutes to go.
Look for the run from deep. Look for the
Ryan Anderson, who has an assist in this match, standing over this.
Ben, there's an extra player there. Get up, Shaquan.
He will strike King there to collect. Here come the Soca Warriors once again. Headed off in midfield. Good defending by Barbados. A little back and forth in midfield. Either side able to gain possession for more than a couple of touches. Trinidad and Tobago now back in possession with O'Shea Watson. It was a good idea that time, trying to play the through ball to Richardson. Barbados, though, able to send it the other direction. There's Jamarley John, former captain for this side, playing it back to his keeper. Anderson losing out here in midfield. One of the substitutes, Javante Ward for Barbados. Sees that pass taken away by Anderson. Now King. Roach. Small. Good lofted ball toward Rosario Roach. Once again, Trinidad and Tobago with good last-ditch defending here. Amari Small once again. Back to Ricardo. The return not quite on. Better though from Barbados, a good sequence. And one of the Bajan Tritons down at the top of the 18. I believe that is Roach. He's wearing the captain's armband today. Right here, as he was trying to get that ball back under his spell, he just collided with the Trinidad defender. A sore one right on the shin. This has been about the perfect day for Trinidad and Tobago, continuing what has been a perfect tournament so far. 7 goals to the gun, none allowed. The final 2 subs of the match being readied for the Soca Warriors. Samuel Balfour, And Matthew Lee Young being replaced. We get to see the red locks of Akim Duncan for the first time today. Duran Blackman also coming on. So all 6 subs now used up by Denzel Theobald. And the bench emptied here today. Everybody on the bench besides the backup keeper Levi Williams employed in this contest against Barbados. Trinidad and Tobago back in attack. Looking for one more today. Good defending there in the end. Chance not quite gone though, but a foul comes. Yeah, for a moment it looked like Richardson was going to be played in by Aiden Jones. Jones though adjudged to have won the ball back illegally. Gittins. That was a good challenge by Anderson, but better work by Amari Small, who was then fouled in the end. A couple of good touches for Small here in this second half since he's come on. A foul going against O'Shea Watson. Small again, fouled once more by Anderson this time. Amari Small, one of 5 players on this Barbados roster who play for Eden Stars. He'll have a chance to serve something Christian Telfer's way. 2 in the wall for the Soca Warriors. Barbados looking to get one back here. High cross that will sail out of play. In Small's defense, it is tough to judge. He just came on, the wind is blowing hard. It's a big ask to try and get that just right. A lot of yellow jerseys were lining up kind of on the back edge of the 6, but the service not quite on target. 5.5 minutes plus stoppages to go here at the Guillermo Trinidad Stadium. The final match of the League B group stage. Group B all but wrapped up before this match began. Trinidad and Tobago locked into the top spot on 6 points. They are this close to making it 9 and earning their 3rd win on the spin, heading into the semis against Jamaica tomorrow. For Barbados, unless something quite spectacular happens, they're headed for their 3rd consecutive defeat. Now, without some positive signs, though, they had some good moments in the first half especially. Came awfully close to scoring on a number of occasions. They just have not they have not found the final ball they've been looking for. Defending hasn't been bad today for the Bajan Tridents. Again, a lot of positive things for Mark Nunez to take from this contest, but the final result likely for the 3rd match in a row will go against them. And these 2 Caribbean nations, separated by just 150 miles of ocean, squaring off today on the final day of the group stage. One more chance here for the Soca Warriors. Good strength by Richardson. They'll keep it in play just ahead of the byline. Back to Anderson. Tried the square, couldn't quite find Duncan. Barbados fouled on that clearance. little shove there. Akim Duncan enough to draw the whistle. The result, you would say, no longer in doubt. Those 2 goals in quick succession by Kevez Quintero to open this second half have taken things out of reach for Barbados, but they will still fight until the end. They would love to get 1, maybe even 2 before the final whistle sounds. 3, of course, an awfully big ask against a Trinidad side that is yet to concede in this competition. Good touch at the top of the box. Oh, the final attempt, though, off target from O'Shea Watson. This close to making it 4 for Trinidad and Tobago. Good build-up play here by Adassa Richardson. Great vision to find Watson on the edge of the box. Good first touch to get by Gittins. Adam King and Shaquan King doing enough to put him off the shot. Here is Watson again. Hit it outside the 18, helped along by Blackman. Second cross popped up by Collymore. And this will be out for a TNT corner. One of the Barbados attackers cramping up there on the far side. I believe that's Goodrich who's being attended to. It's been a long tournament, even though it only started on Tuesday, but 3 matches in 3 days will have this effect. It's a lot. Again, these young men up and down the pitch, emotions high, the nerves jangling. Good to see Seth Goodrich back on his feet, didn't need any extra attention, just a stretch from his teammates. It will be a 6th corner of the match for Trinidad and Tobago here in the final minute of normal time. Dangerous ball headed down and pushed just wide. Jalen Roberts with the final touch. Might have come off a Barbados defender. Looks like another corner is on the way. Oh, it did right there. Amari Small preventing the goal. The Soka Warriors have had a number of chances here of late to add to their lead. They've scored off 1 corner in this match.
Adam, get up!
Another ball driven over the head of everybody this time. Jones there to chase it down. Back to Blackman.
No
Jalen Roberts. Deron Blackman. And it looks like another corner on the way. Sebastian James here, getting set to serve this in, an in-swinger. Another deep cross. King came to punch, didn't get much of it. Was crashed into that time by one of the Trinidad attackers. Shaquan King requiring just a little moments here. I guess he did get enough. It looked like for a moment it was Tariq Collymore who headed that clear, but it was the right fist of King. He got slammed into. He's shaken up here as we have hit the 2nd minute of 2 of stoppages in this second half. Mark Nunez, as we said, Not the result he was looking for from his side. Not a bad performance overall, just not clinical the way they needed to be in the attack, and one or two mistakes in defense. Enough to give this strong Trinidad side the advantage in this contest. Barbados, they will live to play another day. They'll play tomorrow, despite the fact they have yet to notch a result in this tournament. We know the Soca Warriors are moving on to the semis, and they will do so on the strength of another impressive performance. Whistle's not gone yet, though. Barbados giving chase, a lost cause in the end. And there is the full-time whistle. Trinidad and Tobago make it 3 wins out of 3 here in Group E. 3-0 the final as they defeat Barbados. They were already locked in as Group E winners. They now head into the semifinals against the Reggae Boys tomorrow, feeling good about themselves after this performance. Anthony James in the first half, a brace from Quintero in the second, enough to get the job done. A third consecutive clean sheet for Denzel Theobald's Soca Warriors. Their perfect competition continues here today. Great effort from Trinidad and Tobago to earn the 3-0 victory. We will recap it for you in just a moment here from Guillermo Trinidad Stadium in Oranjestad, Aruba.
Step in. Overlap, overlap.
Highlights here continuing. Sorry about that. The mic was on mute, as you will sometimes. 1-0 at the half. Trinidad and Tobago with the advantage. They would make it 2 though after this play. Kevez Quintero fouled on his way towards goal. He would convert the penalty kick coolly to make it 2-0. That came in the 40th minute. And then just 2 minutes later, great individual effort here from Jeremiah Nansen combining with Samuel Balfour. Those two would eventually find the mitts of Shaquan King. The rebound spilled in front. Kevez Quintero right there to scoop it home. 3-0 at that point in the 42nd minute. Trinidad and Tobago with a couple of good looks before the match was done. Adasa Richardson, the second half substitute, finding O'Shea Watson. Adam King and Shaquan King doing just enough to put him off the chance. And that would do it for this one. Trinidad and Tobago maintaining their perfect record in Group E. 3-0 the final. They will play Jamaica in the semifinals tomorrow. For Barbados, they will play in a playoff match against an opponent to be determined. Once again, 3-0 the final here from Aruba. Trinidad and Tobago maintaining their perfect record in Group E. Thanks again for watching our coverage of the Concacaf U-15 Boys Championships. More to come as this tournament reaches the business end in the days ahead.